recording. Yeah. Okay, now it's been recorded. Yeah. So many developers have already designed blockchain-based apps that provide for cheaper, secure, and near instantaneous peer-to-peer fraud funds transfer. So this is very, very, very good because especially for coffee farmers and tea farmers, most of them complain. I don't know how about other countries, but I'm speaking from what I know here in Kenya. So most coffee farmers complain that the payment is delayed. There is coffee gets stolen along the way. So the factory guys tell you that we won't be able to pay you because coffee was stolen. So with this, with blockchain, we can be able to trace every step of the transaction, every step of the coffee from the farm all the way to the factory, all the way to the shop. By the time you are going to the shop and you are scanning that coffee, whether it's Mac coffee or Dorman's coffee or Dead and Kimathi coffee, by the time you are scanning that coffee, you know that this coffee comes from the farm, from a particular farmer. So that's how we can be able to build better solutions with a lot of transparency. So this an example of a company that did something on transportation and on vehicle. So it's called Vehicle Wallet, which is which is in Denmark. So the problem they were trying to solve was during a car life cycle, the car undergoes various phases and activities. That is test, repair, loan and insurance, and changes in ownership. So when a car is sold from one person to another, there can be a lack of information from either the buyer or the seller. Or on the seller side, the car could have undergone an undesirable rebuild or even to be stolen. It can also be stolen. So on the buyer side, the buyer could never register the car, which could result in continuous taxation of the original seller. So the solution that they provided was a vehicle wallet, which is in partnership, is a partnership between payment services provider and the Danish tax administration. So it's a supply chain management tool where data concerning the car is saved in one distributed ledger and creates one agreed and shared record of the vehicle history. So as it is transferred across the supply chain, they can be able to track and also reduce the risk for the buyer and the seller, and also ensure that the Denmark government receives all the proper taxes of the pertaining to the vehicle. So yeah, so the same way with this, I think every step in a supply chain application, you can always be able, if you identify a problem in a supply chain, whichever kind of a supply chain industry, whether it's timber, whether it's food, or you can be able to come up with a solution that greatly helps and reduces the cost. Now, for the case of Walmart, they were also the moment they started using Hyperledger Fabric, the transaction, the verification process or the verification period of food from where it's coming from reduced. I think it used to take 2 days, but it reduced to something 2 to 3 minutes, I think. Yeah. So if we can be able to reduce all those tedious lines and everything and processes, then it means that blockchain is good. So that's right. Okay. Then we have another one in terms of RAND. It's called Ben, which is a Ghanaian company. for RAD property, Ghana lacked a systematic way to determine the legal existence of parcels and track land ownership titles. So this, I think, RAD titles and ownership is something which is very common in Africa. And how can you be able to track ownership of land? So to prevent this, prevented authorities and property owners from having clear certainty and visibility over what belongs to whom, resulting in regular dispute. In addition, because previous processes were on paper, it could take over a year to register the sale stroke purchase of hello. I don't know if you can hear me. Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So for those who are from Kenya, they know that RAD is also something which can bring, like, can create Third World War here. And so Ben provides an Ethereum land digital register system of all land registries across Ghana. So it's able to certify land information through the cross-cutting of satellite imagery and on the ground verification. So they have a satellite, and they use a satellite to do imagery of the ground and also do verification on the ground, working hand in hand with the local stakeholders in the land market. So these are good solution, because you will also, when you are doing a survey for land, you don't have to like go through all those processes. You don't have to go to inquire from the land registry or something, yeah. So it aggregates all the information such as that financial institution and the lands commission have real-time access to the data. So property transaction time have been reduced by 75%, and court dispute have also been reduced. Let's go to the last one. So that was in supply chain and in agriculture. So this particular use case focuses on music and art. So for those who are in the creative industries, this is how you can be able to use blockchain. So we have a reduction of intermediaries. The number of middlemen in sale transaction market, it makes it very difficult for others to reach their target audience and makes their work more expensive. Then we have guarantee of intellectual property. So blockchain can also be applied to innovatives in the area of copyright. Thanks to blockchain, we can be able to permanently store the intellectual property of our work in the cloud and manage it whenever we want it. So this is the case of NFT. So a lot of artists have been able to benefit from NFT because they are selling it directly to the users, and they have been able to make a lot of money rather than what they would have made with an agent or an art gallery. Yeah. Then we have guarantee of we have improved traceability of creative content. So we have Steam. Steemit is a platform, and we have another one called DTube. DTube is a decentralized YouTube, whereby people who have creative and the content is unique, they can be able to upload their work and then later on be paid with DTube coin or Steemit coin. So that is a good application, because a lot of people have what we call plagiarism. They do a lot. There are people who do a lot of plagiarism to content, and they copy and paste it on the internet, and they claim it's theirs. So blockchain stores information on the records, sale, studies, analysis, certification, appraisal, and relating to any artwork. So this reduces illicit trafficking in cultural property and also solves the problem of counterfeiting. So also in terms of movies and movies and pirating. So most of us, I know we are the guys from we are the we are the pirate guys who wants to download free movies. So that also with blockchain we can. So just a few minutes. Okay, so in terms of traceability, most people who like to do pirate pay, your time is near. So that is on music and art. And so far we have done a reduction of intermediaries, guaranteed intellectual property. So we have IPFS. IPFS is also a place where you can be able to, like, it's a interplanetary file system where you can be able to store large chunks of data. And if you are an engineer doing either mechanical engineering or construction and building, you can be able to create a system whereby you can be able to share map, what do we call them? Structural, yes? Structural blueprints, blueprints, whereby you can be able to share your blueprints. You store them in IPFS, and then you share within the community of engineers that you are, and then so that you can be able to see how did they do a particular plan, how did they create maybe like rockets, so that you can be able to share all those blueprints in an orderly manner and in a private and in a secure way. So yeah. So we have one problem in music and gaming. I think this was supposed to be Sony or something. Sport. Yeah. So the music and gaming industry conference panel has been moon the fact that people are willing to buy a cup of coffee or bottle of water, but won't spend the money on a download and instead choose to pirate them. In the days long before Spotify counted 150 million paying subscriber in music, 2 decades later, and many of the same philosophical debates about the price and value of music and gaming continue. So even if we still have Spotify, we still have people who choose to listen to music for free, and we don't know the value of music and games. So still the piracy goes on for those who do like to play video games like PS and Xbox. Most of the games and like especially for FIFA, most of it, it's okay. I'm a top pirate. It's mostly it's pirated games, and also music. It's pirated, and sometimes you could in long time ago you could actually hear musician complaining that there are people who have access to music where even the musician releases them on any platform. So the solution is there are some companies like Sony Music, I think, Sony Music and Apple Music, and also I don't know whether Spotify is thinking to do something on blockchain, but maybe it's something which is on their roadmap. So the solution is blockchain is solving some of the major problems currently plaguing the music industry. With blockchain, musicians are able to receive equitable royalty payments. Venues are able to curb counterfeit tickets, and record companies can easily trace music streams and instantly pay all artists who contributed to the song or albums. So there is a company also here in Kenya, which is doing something on creative arts, and they are trying to come up with a proof of attendance, something, but it's something which let alone you can be able to share and monetize your memories in a particular event, and also to prevent in counterfeit tickets. So in the gaming world, the idea of the metaverse is actually essentially boils down to a virtual shared space. One prominent example of this is the concept is Roblox, which is a gaming platform in which people can build their own experience that are all interconnected through Roblox economy. So it's currently been Roblox. Another is Fortnite. So for those who are also gamers, they know the Fortnite, which has some of the ingredient already, but hasn't yet developed a marketplace with low barriers to entries like Roblox. has. Despite that, one of the best primer on the topic of the metaverse is the below interview with with the, you can read more about the interview with the CEO of Epic Games, which also owns Fortnite. So as you can see, the application of blockchain is limitless in terms of from entertainment all the way to food, all the way to health, and also in terms of education. So, and that's essentially why Facebook changed into Meta, because they were able to see the possibilities. Yeah. So before Metaverse was, there was Decentraland and Sadbots came very fast. So Decentraland was introduced back in 2019, but it hadn't gained traction on momentum. But with Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg has a lot of followers and he has a lot of users. So introducing the metaverse is also kind of easy for him. Also, Twitter Spaces. If you think about Twitter Spaces is also a metaverse. So we are already living in a metaverse, but we think we are not living in a metaverse. So the Twitter Spaces are some kind of a way Jack Dorsey is trying to introduce metaverse to our daily life. So we are already living in metaverse, and yeah. So the last one is on education. And in education, this one is more on verification of certification, whether somebody graduated from a certain institution as they claim they have, especially for politicians. This would help to verify if they ever attended the universities. So it helps in the verification of student records and accreditation. Blockchain technology transforms record keeping of certificates and student credential in learning institution. There is no need for intermediary in verifying degree, certification, diplomas, and other academic paper with with blockchain technology. It's easy. Then it also reduces cases of fraud in education. There are many documented cases where job applicants have used fake academic papers. So many people lie about their educational qualification when applying for a job. And I've seen most people do that. And it goes ways even to medical. A friend of mine was telling me how a nurse they work with applied with the credentials of the brother. So the brother is the one who is a qualified doctor, but the sister, I don't know whether it's the sister of the small brother, or the small sister of brother, didn't even attend nursing hospital or nursing school or any health institution to learn about healthcare or something. So she applied with the fake credentials of his brother and got a job. Now you can imagine that is the same the person who is coming to treat you, who does not know, who does not have any skill in healthcare. So in some cases, the employer or the interview lacks a mark sheet to verify applicant skills. Thus, they are likely to hire unskilled or unqualified personnel for a job. So this is a good way to reduce cases of fraud in education, and also in terms of in reduction of cases of fraud in healthcare, especially for COVID-19 certificate, where people are also creating uh, fraudulent certification that they have gotten a job. Yeah. So decentralized online learning. Learning institutions can use blockchain technology to ensure decentralized online learning. It helps students and instructors share information in real time. When blockchain technology decentralizes online learning, institution will not dictate the type of courses to publish and the amount to charge on every online course. So this is something which is really awesome, because learning right now where we are living in the age of information. Information should be like a basic need. Yeah. And with technology, we can be able to decentralize the learning process. Then we have protection from copyright and digital rights violation. In the world of academics, plagiarism is a major problem. Learning institutions struggle to combat when students copy digital content when coming up with a term paper and a research proposal. It can cost them a lot. For instance, a university can revoke the certification from such student because of plagiarism. So the way I see, the way I think about it is, or the way I see it being applied is creating a system, and I think OpenAI is one of them. That is a one of Elon's company, OpenAI. So OpenAI helps people when you are coming up with a project. You are able to write your topic, and then the AI references in between. It searches. It does the same as Google algorithm does to search and reference whether there is another paper or subject which is similar to what you have. So by the time you have generated all that content, the content is plagiarism free. So yeah. So with blockchain, also a lot of all the universities, if there is a project which has been submitted previously, the universities or institutions can be able to give the students access to that database, and they see that a particular project has been submitted by this and this particular person this and this year, so that they can be able to come up with original content. Because what we are lacking, especially here in Africa, we are lacking people who can be able to create original content, and they don't want to spend a lot of time in doing research. Yeah. So then the last one is creating better learning platforms. So in terms of creating better learning, sorry, so creating better learning platforms, blockchain technology will be useful in the development of better online learning platform. Notably, universities can be develop convenient education system and project connecting students and teachers using the education concept. Schools enhance access and sharing of study materials. Users by Users buy internal tokens to ask for feedback from standby online tutors. They can also download learning materials and access other educational services. So for us who went through who are students and you're doing a research, your last term paper is determined by your professor. So if your professor says that you don't qualify to graduate, that is final. But in the online world, if you prove that you have the skills, you have done all these studies, you can be able to you can be able to you can be able to access you can be able to be validated by all the tutors in the world and say that this guy is a brilliant person and he deserves recognitions. Yeah. Then there is the token part whereby students have tokens so that they can be able to access feedback from what they are doing. Especially if you're a developer, you really want to know whether your code is good. So yeah, that is on education. So I have a real world case, which is a case of Massachusetts. That is Cambridge, Massachusetts. So learning So how are they using blockchain in education? So Learning Machine teamed up with the MIT Media Lab to create a an open standard platform for creating, issuing, and verifying blockchain-backed certificates. By creating records like academic transcript and credentials on a blockchain, the company can review the credibility of document and discover falsified information. So academic achievements, grades, transcripts, and even diplomas can be stored on a blockchain for immutable insight into past academic history. So the same way I mentioned about our health records in the previous class, that we don't have a database of our healthcare system records, like our personal data. We have data which is scattered all over. So the same thing we talked, it's the same way. If you want to like know this guy went to this school, and or like and you want to have an insight of how they did or how they performed in their previous studies, then this is the way to go. So in real life use case, more than 600 of 2018 MIT graduates chose to receive a digital version of their diplomas on blockchain. Consequently, the student academic records will be stored forever and future employees can immediately verify them. Now, apart from Massachusetts, there is also another application. I think it's in Philippines. Yeah. I don't remember the name of the blockchain solution, but they did something on together with the Ministry of Education. The same kind of use case in terms of record keeping and all that. Yeah. And I think we have come to the last slide, that is on assignment. So the assignment of our first module will be writing a blog or an idea that you have on a pain point in your society and how it can be implemented or solved using blockchain. So by now, I think we all have the fundamental knowledge about blockchain, and we have seen different use cases and different ways we can be able to use. So you can come up with a blog or a solution or a project idea. How far, I don't know how far you have gone on thinking about your blockchain idea, your next project, but you can, for starters, you can write a blog on a pain point in your society and how it can be implemented or solved using blockchain. So a pain point is something that you can be able to see a problem that is, so
Sorry.
a problem, yes? Is there any question?
No, continue.
Okay. So a pain point is a problem that you see. If from whichever part of I believe we all have, we are coming from different backgrounds and we are coming from different professional levels. So you can, if you're a student, you can come up with a research and see how you can be able to be innovative on blockchain, because there is a lot of use cases in blockchain. Maybe if you are an IoT designer, if you are a crowd expert, you can try and see how you can be able to come up with a solution for the pain point that you're gonna identify. Yeah. So I think this actually marks the end of our first modules, and congratulations, guys. We are moving on to Web3 slowly by slowly. By the time we are done, you will be experts more than me. Yeah. So if there is a question, this is the time to do so. Hello. Yeah. So this is the right time to ask question. Hello?
I guess none of us have a question.
Do you have a question? Let me see who is. Yeah, Idu.
Idris, not really, though.
Okay, okay. Anybody else who have a question? Anybody who has a question? Okay, I'll ask a question. I'll ask a question. Yes, I'll ask a question. So who wants to be asked who wants to answer first? I won't say the question, but who wants to answer first? Okay, anyway, yeah. So next week we're gonna do introduction to the Celo ecosystem, so that we can get our hands into the Celo blockchain and learn how they differ from those who know Ethereum. Ethereum uses proof of work and proof of stake. Ethereum uses proof of work, but Celo uses proof of stake. So we're gonna learn the differences and also see how we can be, for those who are looking to become validators, how can you benefit from being a validator, and how can you be one? How can you be a validator? So a validator is a node, is somebody who is connected on the blockchain and do validation of transaction. So the best advantage about Celo is that Celo uses proof of stake, which enables anybody with a normal computer to access the validators, to become a validator. But then again, you will have to kind of spare your time so that you can be able to make sure that the machine is, or the validation process is going on correctly. Yeah. Then there are other opportunities. So we're gonna learn about the Celo stack. So Celo stack has the blockchain layer. It also has the application layer, and it also has the core smart Celo smart contracts. So we also gonna see the difference between Celo blockchain. So for Ethereum, to access different smart contracts, you only have to use for transaction. When you are paying for transaction, you to interact with smart contracts deployed on Ethereum, you need to use ETH. For Celo, you can be able to do all the transaction whether using the ERC20 token or Celo the native coin. Yeah, so it has additional fields on its blockchain. Yeah, so we're gonna study that, and also I'm looking forward to inviting or bringing in a guest from the ecosystem who is Daniel Kimotho, who is the ecosystem lead, so that we can be able to have an insight on what is in store for us in Celo blockchain. What can we be able to build on top of the Celo blockchain, and how can we be able to maybe help each other, and how can we, and yeah. So then once we are done with the Celo ecosystem, I think the next topic will be now introduction to, that is a week, 2 weeks from, is it 1 week from now? Yeah, 1 week next week. Then the following week, that's when we'll dive into introduction to smart contracts. So that's when now we be starting the development processes, and yeah. So I don't want to, I know it's a Friday and everyone is, yeah. So if there is no any other question, we can stop there.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we have gone through all the use cases, and now it's time we start diving into the deep. Yeah.
Okay, so have a great weekend. And
You too. You too. Bye everyone. Bye Valentine, and yeah, bye.
nice.
Have a nice weekend.
Okay.